Okay, so new section. We have some new traits to worry about. They're talking about people, the shape of people's hairline, whether it's widow's peak, which means it has a little point in the middle, or whether it's straight across, and earlobe shape, where a free earlobe is one that curls up at the bottom, and an attached earlobe is one that just kind of flows smoothly into the side of the head. And they're asking about the probability of having a girl with a straight hairline and attached earlobes from, this is where we really have to start, a parent who is homozygous recessive for both traits. So we have a parent who is little w and little e, crossed with a parent who's heterozygous for both, meaning big W, big E, little e. Okay, so what kind of gametes can we get from each of these? This parent's nice and straightforward. All they can produce is little w's and little e's, so there's only one gamete you can get from them. This parent is maximally complicated, and we can use FOIL to figure out the gametes that come out of them. Big W, little big E would be first, both of the dominants. Outside we get big W, little e. Inside we get little w, big E. W is not a great letter because the capitals and lower cases look the same, so I'm trying to exaggerate the size. And last we get little w, little e. All right, so a Punnett rectangle here will tell us what kinds of kids these two can have. From one parent, just that. From the other, big, 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 little, little, big, little, little. So offspring are that, big W, and two little e's, two little w's, big E, little e, and little everything. Okay, so what do we get for offspring here? We have big W makes this widow's peak, and big E means free earlobes, widow free. Here we get widow's peak and attached. Little w here means straight. And big E means free earlobes. And here little w means straight. And little e means attached earlobes. Okay, so what was their request? We're looking for a girl with straight hairline and attached earlobes. So how often does that happen? Straight and attached we want, so that means no, no, no. This is the only one that meets these requirements, straight hairline and attached earlobes. The chance of that happening apparently is 1 out of 4. So if they just said what is the chance that a kid born to these parents has straight hairline and attached earlobes, the answer would be 1 out of 4. There's another requirement though, they want it to be a girl. When you have several things happening one after the other, or when you want all of them to happen together, you multiply those probabilities. So in this case, we need the probability that it's a girl times the probability that they're straight attached. And if there were a bunch more requirements, if you wanted them to have red hair and musical talent and da da da, a whole bunch of different traits, then you would multiply the chances of all of those traits together. And the more things you multiply, the smaller the chance gets. In other words, the more requirements you have, the less likely it is that you're going to hit them all. In this case, girls are half of all people, so the chance of a random kid being a girl is 1 out of 2, and the chance that they have straight attached or sorry, that they have straight hairline and attached earlobes is 1 out of 4. When you multiply fractions, you do top times top and bottom times bottom, and so we get an overall probability of 1 out of 8. That's fraction form. They also ask for decimal form, which means to do this you just do 1 divided by 8, which gives 0.125. That's the decimal probability. And if you multiply that by 100, you get the percentile probability, which is 12.5%.